Where's he getting all his energy from?
He's getting ready to get on the pole.
Because I don't have to do the damn show.
He's so hyped up. I have to say, I'm longing for that saxophone riff now, though.
He's starting to get himself going. It's going to be a rough show.
Rough.
Mike.
Yes.
Smell this.
No.
Smell it.
No. I'm not smelling it.
You are going to take a shot, so you got to at least smell it.
Oh, my God. There's a reason behind that.
Welcome to There Is a Better Podcast. Mike is Katzenjammer. My name is the intern formerly known as Ghosty. There you go. The intern formerly known as Ghosty. I'm used to going last, so this is kind of weird.
It's kind of fun.
To the right of me is...
I am messed up Mike this week.
Messed up Mike, and to the right of him is...
Hi, my name is Tony, and I did that in the last show.
Yes, you did.
There you go.
Man, it's...
Meow.
I've had a week to come up with something new. I have not.
So yes,
I'm sorry.
There Is a Better Podcast, and we are anticipating that it's going to be a rough show, but we'll see
rough.
one way or the other.
Nobody want to ask why I'm messed up Mike this week?
Well, that all has to do with the Katzenjammer. We will do that, but first, here's a rundown of what we got going on. There is a better discussion. We'll be doing that, as well as plenty of other good things like Mike's movie review, and we will do what we're going to call it. There is a better poll. Is that correct?
We'll go with that.
That's where Tony gets up on a pole and does a little dance for all of us. Yeah. But first, we get things started off with there is a better beverage. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's a better beverage. It just means that, that's what we wanted to call it, right?
Yeah.
And the reason... What are you calling yourself? Messed up Mike.
He messed up Mike.
The reason he is messed up is because
I'm the only one without a drink in my hand right now.
He is?
I am very much...
Katzenjammer.
There you go.
Which is also the word of the day.
It's the word of the day.
And Katzenjammer origin is from Germany, I believe.
And what does it mean?
And what does it mean, Mike?
It is a hangover. I am... so hungover.
He cannot participate.
I can't even smell this stuff without my stomach already turning on me. And it's been hours. It's from last night, actually.
And yes, I did force him to smell the drink of the day, if nothing else.
Yeah. I just hope I don't get in trouble for this is the only time I've ever opted out of doing something here.
All right, so here's the deal, and actually it's kind of fun. It's ironic because you're the one that picked up the beverage.
I did
of choice. You got this at a local
it smells
store,
so
I believe.
Yes, a local retail store.
And you didn't know a damn thing about it.
I thought of you when I saw it. I saw the label.
I love it.
I was like,
I love it. It's awesome.
This is Ghosty. We have to do this.
I love it. This is so what we're going to be drinking today is Kraken Attacks Michigan. It is a spiced rum. Now, here's the interesting part about this. It is not made in Michigan. It is actually made in Lawrenceburg, Indiana, by the Kraken Rum Company. Now, here's the deal with that.
Okay.
This was kind of cool. I actually looked this up, and you can go to krakenrum.com to get the full story. But they actually, this is this Kraken Attacks. It's a limited edition, and all the artwork is slightly varied for each of the 50 states.
Oh.
So messed up Mike actually picked up the Michigan version.
The more you know.
I can try.
I'm learning so much right now.
We need to get that. Well, that is my goal, to educate. So they got, like I said, it's krakenrum.com, and they've got a story behind how the rum came to be, along with a CGI video of a kraken attacking a ship.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool.
Right,
it's kind of cool. 7 pages of various Kraken drink recipes. And today, Tony and I, however, not messed up Mike, will be partaking. And we're going to start things off with just a straight out shot of this.
Katzenjammer.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not the Katzenjammer, but the Kraken Attacks Rum. You ready to do this?
Yeah, let's do this.
All right, here we go.
So first impressions, already smelling it.
A little bit of a...
It's kind of like a Jaeger thing.
Kind of a Jaeger thing. You can definitely smell the spices in it.
Yeah.
No, I can smell it. I don't want to smell it.
Yeah, it's got the original herbs and spices of the Kernel.
Mine was down the hatch. I think that's appropriate for the Kraken.
What do you mean? Explain. Use more words.
Wow.
I am trying to get to words. I actually...
Like good or bad?
I like it. To me, it actually almost kind of has a tequila vibe.
Tony's got the yips over here. He's like having like a fizzle.
You remember that scene in the movie The Three Amigos where they're at the bar and they all take a shot of tequila and the guy's like, "Oh, it's like beer," and so they turn around and they cheers each other and they take it down and they look fine for a second. And then all of a sudden, and they all contort their bodies in different ways. Oop. That's exactly what had happened here. Like it was just running through me and I felt like.
Getting ready to get on that pole, aren't you?
Lube it up.
Okay, so and what now Tony and I are going to be drinking as a mixed drink is it's called the Kraken Alexander. Like I said, they've got about 7 web pages of different drink recipes.
Wow. Dedicated to fucking you up.
This is based on the Brandy Alexander, okay? So
we'll have to tag them in our social medias.
You'll definitely want to check out the video because I made one hell of a mess trying to make these things.
Oh, yeah.
So the Kraken Alexander, you're talking about basically 1.5 ounces of Kraken rum. I gave it more. You got cream de cacao.
Cream dick.
Cacao. Cacao is how you say it.
Yeah, it's like cocoa, right?
Creme
de cacao.
Yeah, I always say cream de cocoa. Oh. And I don't think that's really, I think it's cacao.
Cacao.
And I don't say it because it sounds like caca.
Well, then don't say caca.
Cream de caca.
Cream of the poo-poo.
And then heavy whipping cream, but if
heavy whipping cream of the poo-poo.
It's
It's going to make this drink much worse for you guys here, and I'm just watching. Oh.
It isn't like you need to use that. You could always put milk in there, and that works just fine.
Cream of the milky poo-poo?
And I didn't have the garnish around grated nutmeg, so I just threw some nutmeg in there.
I like nutmeg.
All right, so we're going to try the Kraken Alexander.
Have you ever
now.
snorted a line of nutmeg before?
I have not to this day.
Let's try not to.
I am thinking that might happen by the end of this episode. Here we go.
Could very well be.
Going for the taste test. Oh, my God.
Wow. You know, that tastes as smooth as this.
Oh, my. I actually feel better. My hangover's feeling better. I almost feel like I'm missing out. Like I want to be part of it now.
I actually
that
think
was refreshing.
You might have been all right with this. Kind of a chocolate milk vibe. Spicy. This would be a good Christmas time drink, I think.
Oh, yeah. That's a great,
we should mark that down.
Yes, definitely. Put that on there. You
can definitely taste the nutmeg.
Brother-in-law also does a good Christmas drink. It's Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Kind of reminds me of that a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I can see that.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's fantastic, though. Nice,
I dig it.
Nice
Thumbs
drink
up.
there.
I'd say
Intern formerly known as Ghosty.
It's good.
It's good. I don't have that ready.
We're just randomly going to have to do that.
Here, I got the sound effect.
There it is. That means it's good.
That means it's great.
Did we do the social media?
Or it means that Tony is on his pole.
Yeah,
oh, shit.
He might always be. Did we do the social medias earlier?
Socially
Oh,
awkward
we did not
media.
do that. I'm sorry. See, I am not used to doing this.
We'll put the music back on for you.
I'm going to let you guys roll through it. If you want to reach us on Twitter, where do you go, Mike?
There's a better one.
Tony, if you want to get us on Instagram, where do you go?
There's a better podcast on Instagram.
All right. So there you go.
If you want to email us, it's there's a better podcast at gmail.com.
Yeah, that's usually mine.
Can I tag one?
I've always thought it was Gmail.
Gmail.
Huh. Learn something new every day.
I know this is your rundown there.
I'm all good with whatever. Go ahead. What do you got, man?
Hey, thanks for the. We're up to 1,000 followers.
Right. That's
on Twitter.
awesome. Yes, thank you.
So we're kind of rocking it there. I enjoy interacting with everybody that's out there.
I don't.
We're
Just
making quite a bit of headway there. And be sure if you like us, hate us, whatever, feel free to share us. You guys have a bigger impact on the show than we actually do as far as getting our voices out there and to bother other people as much as we can, as much as we bother you.
And if you do like us, go ahead and leave a review on Apple Podcasts if you can, because we
still got that trucker hat
we
to
have
take care of.
Damn trucker hat that we need to get rid of. And we'd like to know, what is it that we're doing well? What is it that we're not doing well? Just tell us.
We may or may not pay attention.
The more you know. There you go.
That's pretty good.
That was good.
Thanks.
How's your guys' week?
Good until last night.
Yeah, you hit a wall. You got all.
Actually, the podcast is partially to blame for that night.
Is it Katzenjammer?
Katzenjammer.
Is it with an R?
Katzenjammer.
Katzenjammer.
But I was Katzenhammered.
You are now Katzenjammer.
Katzendoggin?
Katzenjammer.
Katzenjammer. There we go. Actually, we're somebody like name dropped like, hey, he has a podcast, and these guys were like, no, he doesn't have it. I whipped out my phone, I showed it to him. They all got their
phones. Did you
phones.
say you whipped out your phone?
I whipped it out.
And you showed it to him.
I whipped
and
it.
You showed it to him on your phone.
Slang it
That
around
means
there a couple of times, and they all 4 of the guys instantly subscribed.
Instantly
to us.
left the
They
room.
subscribed us.
And
They followed us on Twitter instantly, and then
Did they
started
also
buying
follow us
drinks.
on Instagram?
They started buying drinks.
They bought you drinks.
This is the good part, because if they would have listened to us first, I would be having to buy them drinks because they were like, there's a better podcast.
Why the hell did we do this?
There's a better friend, and you're not it. Sorry, Mixmaster Mike.
Yeah, I got a little front loaded there with, I got loaded, right?
So I myself had an interesting week in the fact that I did something that I have never done before.
Shot a gun.
I did not.
A
We're gonna
line
do
of
that.
nutmeg.
I did not do a line of nutmeg yet.
Okay. All right. We just talked about that. I forgot.
It is on my bucket list. Apparently, is that what we're calling
Yes.
it? No,
I
for the first time ever, I actually had to serve on jury duty. Ooh. So I did my civic duty, and that brings us up to there is a better
that
discussion.
civic duty.
I thought it was an interesting thing.
Is that duty?
My duty. So basically, I thought it was interesting in the fact that, like the very first time I almost served, I was a young man back at the young, ripe age of whatever. It doesn't really matter.
75.
I worked at Burger King at the time and got up onto the jury box. They asked questions, and the particular crime happened to be an armed robbery of a Burger King.
Oh my God!
And they asked if there was any reason why you didn't feel like you could give an unbiased opinion,
Judgment, right?
Yeah, and I raised my hand, and they were like, "Well, why would you not be able to do that?"
Because I robbed a Burger King.
Close. I was robbed at gunpoint.
Oh shit!
As a manager of a Burger King.
You were?
Yes.
Oh my God! No more. that needs to be a permanent bit.
So I got dismissed on that one. This one I did not. And I thought it was an interesting process. Like I said, I've never done this before. It was what do they call it? Domestic violence case.
That'd be hard to hear.
And so I actually had to sit on the jury box and go through the process. And I thought it was interesting in the fact that all the other jurors, they all took it seriously. It was one of those things where I didn't know if people seriously did do that, if they did their duty.
To please the booty?
I think on the jury box, there was only one guy that basically you could tell he didn't give a shit one way or the other. And it was just a matter of whatever everybody else wanted to do. But we all went to the jury room. We did our thing and kind of went around and said, well, where do you stand, right off the bat? One person said guilty. Everybody else was like undecided. Had a serious discussion on it. And by the time we were done, he was convicted, guilty. And it was one of those things where that was the point where I didn't feel good about the process anymore. And it was because I actually had to pass judgment. So it was some sort of thing within me that just didn't really work, and I couldn't jive with it. But you guys, I believe, both have served before, right?
No. I have an interesting story. Well, I guess it's only interesting.
I have, but go ahead and tell yours.
Mine, the only time I've ever been summoned, I guess, is that the correct word, for jury duty, I was actually in Kuwait in southern Iraq.
Okay.
So they went to my house, and me and my foster dad were both selected for the exact same one. And they're like, well, you can go get him if you want to. He'd love to come back here and do jury duty. So I've been exempt or skipped over.
So you never actually had to serve them?
Nope, never been. Now that you put it in the world, I'm going to have to, and it's going to be a terrible one watch.
Okay.
Huh.
And
I did.
Tony.
So
Tony, get off your pole.
Get over here.
Stop doing your lines of nutmeg. Tell us about your experience.
So I was summoned for jury duty, and it lasted about a full week.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, it lasted about a full
week.
week.
Mine was a day.
Cool.
Cool story.
But I find it interesting that you went a full week. I mean,
well, yeah, and the best part about it was
because that's a lot of time to give up.
It is a lot of time to give up, but it was different than my normal 9 to 5, which I was totally fine with that. All I had to do was just report in the morning via text. Hey, I'm at jury duty still. Don't fire me, please. No, please don't fire me. Please. And it just went on for about an hour until I, had to give up my phone. And then we would go in, we would listen to, the testimonies and then
not testimonials, just testimonials.
Not testimonials.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Just to clarify.
Yes, thank you. And then I guess I could talk about the case too.
You can.
Yeah. So there was a guy who was dating this woman, and he asked her to move in with him, and she has 2 kids. One of them is a teenage daughter, and that teenage daughter was the subject of this case because he was inappropriately filming her while she was getting changed in her bedroom.
No.
And that was the shitty part, is we had to watch the videos.
Oh, Jesus.
Not only once, not twice, not 3 times, at least 5 times.
Yeah.
And it was not good. I did not feel very clean after the first day. Anyway.
So yours sounds like it was pretty clear as to where it was going, yes?
Yes. And as more witnesses came in and more people, spoke what they needed to speak, and, the cross-examinations and whatnot, I think it was Thursday. So it started on a Monday, and then it went through on Thursday, and we were thinking like, okay, well, this is going to take into next week. So we got all asked to come in after a lunch break. We all got asked to be brought into the courtroom from our little jury deliberation booth, or whatever you want to call it, one at a time. And we were all questioned individually about any activities that went on outside of the courtroom, because you're not supposed to talk about that. For those who have served jury duty, you're aware that you're not supposed to talk about that, not even outside of the courtroom, not even in your little jury deliberation box or booth or whatever. For those who don't know, that's what happens. So you're not supposed to talk about anything until you actually get to deliberation, once all the facts and everything is provided. Anyway, so they brought us in one at a time. Each juror was questioned about any activity that happened outside. I don't know what anybody said. I didn't talk about it, and that's all I had to report. I came back in, and then after about an hour later of us just sitting around, come to find out, it was considered a mistrial.
Oh, my God.
So
that is awful.
Yeah, it was a fucking mistrial. The beauty part was we all knew where it was going. We all wanted to presume him guilty. And so the moment that we got outside of the court...
So basically he got away.
Of the courthouse, no.
Okay.
So the moment that we got outside of the courthouse, we all said, yep, he's guilty, 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 guilty. And the shitty part is they had to go through that trial again.
With all new people.
With all new people, all new jurors, all new everything. Same testimonials, but... all new jurors, and they had, and she would have had to go through that whole process again as the victim. That fucking sucks for her and everybody else involved.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, so ours ended up in a mistrial, even though we were on the last day.
It doesn't sound like you would have had a problem passing judgment, right?
I didn't have any problem passing judgment because I think it was just very clear that it was an invasion of somebody's privacy, very... disgustingly done. Yeah, I felt awful that just any of that even happened. I didn't mind passing judgment on that. Now, if it was something a little bit more gray area where, they had a history or something like that, and she was of age, blah, 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 then it would be more difficult to pass judgment because we don't know that history. Again, if she was of age.
Right.
So I don't think I'd have a problem with the passing judgment.
I did. I had like a moral issue with it.
And maybe in the moment I'd be a little bit different, but I think I would struggle with the part where, say you're in a big long one, say like the O.J. Simpson
I'm always in a big long one.
Oh, for God's sakes! if we had like something like that where it took, that's always going to be great. That I completely forgot where I was going. I keep on seeing the star going over. The more you know.
Come on, messed up Mike.
Messed up Mike is messed up, and trying to, but I feel like if it was a long trial, I feel like I would be like very quick to like kind of go with whatever the social norms of the room is, just to get the hell out of there.
See, and that was one
That's
of
my fear, is that I would be so annoyed with it, I just go along with the flow, which is not cool, not good. And I kind of hope in the moment I'd game up there pretty good.
And that was one of my things about that is like I said, everybody on there on the jury seemed to be pretty good about trying to declare or get a comprehensive decision, with the exception of one guy. But that one guy was enough to kind of, I mean,
you're talking about 12 Angry Men.
It didn't help the defendant. You know what I mean? If you know, one way or the other, and it was just like, it was one of those things where I was like, it was an interesting thing a process to go through. I just don't know that I necessarily feel like it's, I guess it's okay, but it's one of those things, because this is the way we decided to do it, right? But it's one of those things where it's like, occasionally I'm like, man, some people had to have gotten screwed over the years. And it's just a shame. And especially like in the situation you're talking about where it becomes a mistrial.
Yeah.
Anyway,
all over again.
Yeah,
there is a better discussion. Now it is time to move on to the next.
Now that we got the harmonica open for you.
Yeah.
I didn't know we put a child lock on for it.
I don't know why I can't open that
You
thing.
literally press one button and that's it.
I seem to lack that ability, so you know.
Shit. No, I can't
No,
do it.
Mike can't figure it
no,
out
I can't.
now.
Oh, it's because it's not in there.
Maybe after I do a couple of lines of nutmeg here, I'm gonna do
do
that while Mike's doing his movie review.
Go ahead. Let's open it up. Mike's movie review.
That was awful.
Yeah, it was. It was easily one of our worst ones.
I thought we were. Getting Olympic gold here.
We're going to talk about that here in a little bit, too.
Oh.
First one up is...
Foreshadow.
Foreshadow.
5 shadow. 5 gum.
Foreskin. Wait, no.
Foreskin.
First one is called False Positive, and it's on Hulu. It's fairly new to
Is this
Hulu.
about COVID?
No.
Seriously. We've had
It
enough
actually
of
had
this.
me with Pierce Brosnan, and Justin Theroux. And
Did you just say it had me at Pierce Brosnan?
Was he your favorite
Was that
Bond?
like, were you quoting a movie?
No.
Like you had me at Pierce Brosnan.
Yes, Remington Steele. Elena Glazer plays the main character of this movie.
He was a Bond guy, right?
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
So the couple, Justin and Elena, are trying.
I think he was the one before the most recent.
Yes, he was.
All right, get into it.
He was my favorite.
In this movie, False Positive, a couple struggles to
Let's
get
keep
pregnant.
talking about Bond instead. I really like where that was.
We already
going.
had that
We
episode.
should do an episode.
We should
We should do a whole episode on Bond.
Yeah, we should do another episode on bondage.
Maybe when we get to number 7. Oh shit!
Oh, wait, we did this.
Wait,
All right,
007?
here we go. False Positive.
There is a better Bond.
A couple tries to get pregnant. They can't do anything, so they go to Pierce Brosnan's character. He's an OBGYN.
And it's just 2 hours of Pierce Brosnan having sex
Yes.
with this woman trying to get her pregnant. Okay, moving on.
That's really uncanny. So you've seen this film?
It was
You
a
kinda-
documentary, wasn't it?
So without seeing it, he's already seen it.
He just actually.
Are you serious?
He just spoiled the movie.
Oh my God!
First thought of this movie, it's fucking weird. Second thought of this movie,
Hold on.
it's fucking weird. They have these dark and dreadful, suspenseful moments
Where he's trying to get laid?
No, just like you feel something sinister is going on, but you can't really figure it out.
And then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
that was played too.
that would do it.
It's hollow and it's missing something. There's no connection in the show. There is many moments of what the fuck did I just watch?
Many.
And you did watch this sober, right?
Yes, occasionally I am. It was not made for me. I was not the target audience of this thing, and you should just leave it alone because it is total and complete.
God damn it! This is what happens when I'm too busy doing other shit.
All right, so it can't get any lower than that, right?
Oh, gonna work.
Challenge accepted.
I can't do this anymore.
Challenge accepted because in this one we have it's on Netflix. It's called Cosmic Sin, right?
Okay.
It's got Frank Grillo and Bruce Willis in it, right?
Ooh, I like Bruce
I think
Willis
I saw
in-
this one.
It's a future space thriller.
Is this where Bruce Willis tries to impregnate the space alien?
If you do one
she
more
can't
spoiler,
conceive?
I can't believe you nailed that. By the way, future.
With the
Sorry?
space aliens? Yeah, he nails space aliens.
He does it all the time.
He does nail space aliens all the time.
Especially after doing a couple of lines of nutmeg.
More than a couple.
This podcast
Gets on his pole.
does not promote nutmeg snorting. We do promote gay podcasting. No. Future space thriller with an opening reminded me of Halo, actually, but with terrible effects. Oh. It asked the question, if we would find another civilization first, we shouldn't go hostile and try not to wipe it off with it. Which
no, you
this
know
whole
why?
movie's
Because
based off of this thought, right?
Because we're Americans and we are number one
No, this
worldwide,
world.
nationwide, in
Nationwide
universally.
is on your side. This
Universally.
you don't go hostile, right? You just don't do that. Which lasts about 4 minutes before they decide they're going to wipe this whole other civilization off the face of the universe.
Okay,
but-
so this isn't the
but
one
watch
where
Independence Day,
they
for
end
crying
up.
out
Is this on like all on a spaceship?
No.
Okay,
planets.
this is not the same thing I saw
All right.
then.
The whole time I
It
felt,
was awful, whatever I watched.
This isn't any better. The whole time I watched it, I felt like I was watching Halo without the licensing to Halo, with it being a cheap knockoff. Actually, I had fun writing
Not
that
Halo,
down.
but hell no, right?
Hell no. Yes, hell no.
Hell no.
The alien encounters were so ridiculous at some point. Like, it was off-putting to me. Like, it
because
creeped me out.
Pierce Brosnan was there doing his trying to get laid.
He was
trying to get laid. Yeah.
The aliens had problems with fertility issues, and he stepped right in. He was a pinch hitter. Oh my god!
Yeah.
I love that so much.
It's the
There's
saxophone.
there's
the
one part
saxophone does it.
in this movie where also there's these other characters that just come into the thing. They don't even explain where these people came from, how they are in the story. They're just part of the movie from there on out. It's like they forgot to edit like one whole part of the movie in. It was terrible. Don't watch this one because it is. It is. There we go. Why is he doing that? Weird.
There is a better.
I don't know. He's
soundboard.
pulling duct tape out to fix it though.
I know it's probably to shut me up. See, this is why we're going to go to jury trial here. There's a better movie bucket list selection this week is
There's a better bucket list.
Saving Private Ryan.
Oh yeah, great movie.
It's if it's not the greatest war movie ever, it's really up there.
It's
if
fantastic.
not top two for me. The cast alone was nothing short of amazing. Tom Hanks, Tom Sizemore, Vin Diesel, Giovanni Ribisi.
The movie.
The
movies. Edwin
The
Burns.
popcorn.
The popcorn.
Butter.
Ryan's Privates.
Ryan's Privates.
Saving Ryan's Privates.
Oh, my Vin Diesel there just got like an English Brooklyn accent.
family.
Saving Privates.
Good eye, mate. Let's put another shrimp on the barbie.
If you've been under a rock somehow and don't know what Saving Private Ryan is, it's a movie.
The Rock is
about
not in that movie. I don't know what you're
World War
talking about.
II, when they assault the beach in Normandy, and they're looking for one in the name, Saving Private Ryan. And they're trying to get him back to his family after all his brothers die. Right.
Give me back my family.
Opening scene.
The opening scene is just nothing
Oh my
short of amazing. Like, it's the only
It is
time.
a phenomenal.
The
opening
only
scene.
time in my life I've ever actually seen my foster dad cry was watching that, because
wow.
he had his dad and his uncles were in the war, and one uncle in particular
I thought
assaulted the Normandy beach, and so it just kind of took him, like, it made it real to him. He's like, it's hard to tell if this is real or fake. Yeah, obviously it's a movie, he knows it's fake.
But it was just done so perfectly.
Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks, they deliver on whatever they put out there.
Yeah.
How long does that opening scene last? You know,
I
mean, because it feels like forever in a way, and it's not.
It's probably 15 minutes, but it goes on for a while.
It's all everything's swept in one shot.
Yeah.
So it's basically like you are in.
Well, you got the POV camera, like with
Yeah.
them, like you're rocking.
It's
in the
like
boat,
you are in the action, like in the middle of everything.
Yeah. Well, just a great movie, and it does ask the question: would you sacrifice some for one, like more than one people, just because a lot of the people struggle with this mission to save this one guy?
Sure.
Why would you do that? Because that's the only family member that he would have had left for his family name, and every other stuff. And of course, it goes sideways. Just a great movie, and struggles with the morality of war in some regards, because you let somebody go, sometimes they can come back and still kill you.
We'll have to add that onto there as a better discussion.
Yeah,
we'll
we
do
should
that
do
one.
one. I could do a whole one about that. But it's Saving Private Ryan.
I've actually had like a moral question put to me before. And
Dilemma?
I my answer back then was different than it probably would have been now. Anyway, so bucket list.
What a tease! That's like a long-term tease. Yeah, if it's on the bucket list,
I guess it would be a good. Yeah, it's that really
I
was
don't
not
think that's a
needed
bad
there.
thing to finish up with. All right, so we are
Katzenjammer.
going to get Katzenjammer going. Messed Up Mike will be back, and so will Tony in just a little bit. Tony's going to get on the pole, right?
I'm waiting for him to get off of it.
Get on that pole. Get off that pole.
About chicka wow chicka wow.
Shake it,
wow,
shake
wow.
it, shake it.
I told you last episode, keep the thrusting away from my head.
Oh, he just got closer, folks.
I know.
He just got closer.
Thrusting's getting closer.
And for weird, did you go to
Thrusting's
HR
getting
about
closer?
Pelvic
Closer,
thrust.
closer, closer.
Pelvic thrust.
Thrust in your face, Michael.
There you go.
All right, don't make eye contact while you do it. And by the way,
Wait,
where are your pants?
he's licking his lips.
Did he get in trouble with HR last week
Nuts
for
in
not
your
having pants on?
nuts in your face. Oh.
Or was it 2 weeks ago?
I think that, yeah.
We'll be right back.
Oh, did you need me to say that?
Well, you get to say that then.
Be right back.
And that's how we come back in.
Inseminated by Pierce Brosnan.
Did you say come back in?
Wow, we just made like 3
Coming back.
sex-related jokes, like
Yeah.
all in a row, like not really intended either.
That's because we're all Katzenjammer. Hey, welcome back to There Is a Better Podcast. As always, you want to connect with us on Twitter. The place to go is
There's a better than the number one.
the number one.
The number one.
Yeah, the
there's a
number
better
one.
than the number one.
You want to kick it with us on Instagram, you go to.
There is a better podcast.
And of course, if you want to email us, we always love reading those emails. And you can do that at thereisabetterpodcast@gmail.com.
Coom.
I am the
Katzenjammer.
I am the Katzenjammer. I am the Katzenjammer, formerly known as Ghosty. We also got
Messed up Mike.
who is Katzenjammer.
I am Katzenhammered right now.
And of course,
Tony.
who's getting ready to get on the pole. He's going to get on the pole once again.
Is that your stripper song? Is you stripped to Careless Whisper?
Damn right. And yeah, I do it silently so that nobody watches.
I can just see your hips
probably-
swaying with
kinda
the
had that on a
saxophone.
harmonica there a little
You
bit.
did. I heard it.
Okay, here we go.
Wait, I need to hear it again. I need to hear it.
2, 3, 4.
I
Oh,
can't
no,
do it.
that was good. You hit the right 2 notes. They were just in the wrong key. Don't ever do that again.
Anyway.
I love it. No, that was
All
good.
right, so there
Well
is
done.
a better poll. This is kind of what do you got for us this week, Tony?
So this week, the poll question, would you rather A, jump 10 years into the future, but you can't return back to the present, or B,
oh, you did not mention that.
That-
jump
is a
10
caveat.
years into the past,
At your
but you
current
stay
age.
your current age?
Okay, so 10 years into the past, you stay your current age.
Why don't you give them what the people said first, and we'll give ours?
What was the other one?
Or you jump 10 years into the past, you stay the same age, or you jump 10 years into the future, but you can't return to the present. So like, yeah, so you can't like, in the movie Back to the Future 2, how Biff made all those sports bets and became like the most, the richest, powerful, most
Yep. Right.
biffiest
Sure.
person in
Yep.
the world ever.
Yep.
Can't do that.
Okay.
You jump 10 years into the past. Now, I mean, I guess you could probably do that
Yeah.
technically, but
Sure. Yeah.
did you plan for it? I don't know.
Okay.
But you stay the same age.
So what did you get? What did you get?
So Instagram and Twitter responded quite
this is our
healthy.
best poll ever.
Yeah.
Did you say a healthy response?
It was a healthy response.
It was the best poll we've ever
It was a
had.
big poll. So it was unanimous. 65% said they'd rather go 10 years into the past, even though you stay at your same age, and 35% said, oh, well, yeah, let's go to the future, even though I can't return to the present. So what would you do? We'll start with you, my God.
He's
Intern,
forgot-
formerly
He's
known-
forgotten everybody's name,
God.
and he is not Katzenjammer.
No.
He's not.
But he has been doing lines.
He's
of
working
comedy.
on being Katzenjammer.
Well, all that damn rum was so good. It's cracking my brain.
I was jealous. I'm not gonna lie. I was jealous watching you guys drink that. I was like,
As well, you should be. It was.
I gave you comic
delicious.
gold on Kraken, and you did nothing with it. No, that's
I-
fine.
I
It's
would-
fine.
I would have to-
absolutely fine.
I would have to say that I agree with the pollsters.
love it. I hope people understand what that's from.
I feel
And
like
if they don't, then fucking Google it.
it's one of those things where I always, it goes back to the saying of, I wish I knew then what I know now.
Yeah.
And if you put me back 10 years ago, which would have been what?
That would be
10 years ago.
10 years ago, yeah.
So
2011.
2011. Ooh.
Yeah, and if I knew a lot of the shit I know now, I'd be like, I don't know, not on this podcast probably.
Probably you'd be in a better place, that's for sure. Well, that one stings a little bit.
I am kidding, of course, but no,
I don't think you are.
No, I okay, maybe I'm not. One way or the other, I just know that, like, as always, you learn stuff, and as you go, and that's if I had to pick. I will agree with the folks on
Twitter.
Yeah, that
Twitstagram and
Instagram. They would stay in the present, but that obviously is not one of the choices. So,
yeah.
Right.
I would go
Mike. Yes,
I would jump
messed up Mike,
I would jump into the past
Messy
10 years
Mike.
at the current age, like
and not drink last night.
not drink last night. That'd be the first place to start.
Yeah, just tell yourself 10 years ago, hey, remember that night that hasn't happened yet, 2021.
Well, we would know. That's like right when like podcasts kind of started getting going, or even being founded. Like we would be on the cusp of everything. We would
Cutting
know
edge.
everything.
10 years of podcasting. Can you believe that?
I couldn't do that. The jump 10 years into the future, but you can't return to the present. I got young boys, my sons,
Oh, yeah,
and
you'd
I'd
skip a lot of
miss
stuff
way
there,
too much
yeah.
of their life. I couldn't do it. Like I wouldn't want either one of these, obviously, but 10 years doesn't seem to be in the past. Doesn't seem to be too bad at the current age, and as long as you keep your current knowledge, I guess.
Now, even if you
Yeah.
move to the future, you get to keep your current age, correct?
If you go to the future, you stay the same age. You haven't aged anything, but you stay the same age when you go back to
I mean,
the
the
past, too.
only attractive part of that I could see would
Wait,
be
finally get past COVID.
Well, there's that.
God, I hope
okay.
so.
Make that the second most attractive part of that would be,
Whoops.
I mean, with technology expanding so quickly, so fast, you would get to see a lot of stuff that maybe you wouldn't get to see.
I thought that would be kind of cool. If I didn't have kids and all that, I'd probably do that.
Because it would
but-
be interesting to see. I mean, because 10 years these days in technology base.
Hell, I would settle for jumping 10 hours to get over this freaking hangover.
Katzenjammer.
Yes.
And get all Katzenjammer.
Yeah.
What about you, Mr. Tony?
Yeah.
I would go, oh my gosh.
You would go, oh my gosh, that was not a choice.
That was not one of the choices. So instead of that choice, I think I would also go back to the past as well, even though I will be,
You would become a pole dancer, wouldn't you?
In one way or another.
There it is.
Always swaying with the music.
Oh, wait.
Why do we not have this on YouTube?
I was still off. I had it down earlier. So you would go to the past.
I would go to the past. I would go to the past because I can. I guess I don't know.
That's a hard one. That's a really good question.
Looking
though.
back 10 years, though, I was in a much better position. Well, actually, no, I take that back. If I knew then what I know now, taking
That's
your words,
exactly
Ghosty,
what it goes down to.
intern formerly known as Ghosty. I was in like an 8 or 9 year on and off relationship, and it was taxing as hell, probably for both of us. I'm going to say that, but I'm
sounds
just going
like
to talk
it-
about myself anyway.
It'd leave you very much.
Katzenjammer.
That really doesn't make any sense, but
The relationship left you with a hangover.
With a hangover. It's
so
a relationship, Katzenjammer.
it was
Yeah.
it was a relationship. That's fine. And if I would have known that it was going to be like 8 or 9 years of an on-off thing, I think I would have just assumed cut it off before it got any further, because it definitely went a little bit longer than I think it should have. Now, don't get me wrong. I still do have feelings for this person in a way that just hopes that they're well.
We should have like there's
Just
a better
hope that they're
podcast or there's a better discussion. Should be like terrible relationship.
Terrible.
Oh, we'll do that.
We could
We'll
do
add that one in.
Fuck it. Let's just scrap the rest of the show here.
Get rid of the
Let's
rest
do
of the
it. Here we
show.
go.
We'll add that in at some point. So basically, my other thing about this, though, is would you have, so like for instance, 10 years ago, would you have knowledge that like certain stock prices and things, kind of like you said with the Back to the Future.
Bitcoin.
Would you have that Bitcoin, whatever the case may be?
Like you could save lives if you could remember certain things. Like you.
I would just rather go with Bitcoin.
Would you still have that knowledge? See, that's the thing is I'll always like turn something into complex.
Well, I think you could still retain that knowledge. It doesn't say that you can't.
It plays a role in it, of course.
It doesn't say that you can't. So
because if you have that, then you have power.
But the thing is, you know that you can go into the future, steal that knowledge, and come back to the past. If you could do so, I think that would make it a no-brainer because you have the ability to do something and undo it. Or have the ability to learn something and come back with it to do it. Does that make sense?
I don't know. I'm kind of Katzenjammered now.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, Katzenjammer, is that a verb? Did we declare that? No.
No, every time you get me to look up stuff, like we ran into bamboozled before.
It says it's a noun. It's a noun.
It's a noun.
Noun, yeah.
But I would like to use it as a verb from now on.
Jammers.
So I want to get Katzenjammered.
Well, how can you have... How could there be two?
Which, by the way,
like we all have.
Should we mention the band
from a hangover?
Should we mention the band?
Yeah.
Yes, there's a band.
Okay, so there's a band called Katzenjammer. I assume out of Germany. Yeah. Did we figure that out?
They look like death metal.
They don't look like death. The girl's got a kitty cat guitar.
That's not a kitty cat. Is it?
Yeah, we determined that's a kitty cat.
Oh, we're gonna put this up on.
That's
Twitter.
a Cheshire. It's a Cheshire cat guitar.
It's an awesome guitar, and they get an accordion, and you're calling them death metal.
I was being facetious.
Totally death metal.
I was trying to bamboozle your segment.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of which, Tony, do you have more?
This is not my segment. Yeah, did you have any more, Tony?
I might. Okay.
No, what do you got? What do you got?
I think it was last show, or maybe it was 2 shows ago. We were talking about douchebags and fuckboys,
okay,
and jackasses. Well, we're talking about Fuckboy Island, or actually, the show's called F-Boy Island. Now, before I get into this review here,
you watched it?
I have.
Oh wow!
I watched it,
and that's the name of it, Fuckboy or F-Boy Island.
Yeah, they changed it to F-Boy.
F-Boy Island, and I have a problem with that, and I didn't want to watch the show because of that one thing.
Because they didn't used to call it that. That was.
Well, it's on Cinemax. It's on Cinemax. Cinemax. HBO. You had Cinemax. It's HBO Max.
Yes. Okay.
But it's a Cinemax original.
Yeah.
Cinemax was known for Friday After Dark.
Yeah.
It was known for.
Great streaming past 2 a.m.
Exactly. What was the other one? Emmanuel in Space.
Oh, yeah. Oop.
Or just Emmanuel.
Oh, I do remember that. I've heard of it. That is
Yeah.
the first one you hit on that I remember.
And they
like you can tell I have not had Cinemax my entire life. So
you were missing out a whole new
maybe that's why you should go back 10 years into the past.
10 years.
Of
10 years into the past. Now you know.
Of soft porn.
But here was my thing about it is you're fucking Cinemax. You can get away with you are the cutting edge, you're the edginess of the HBO realm. And you have to reduce it to F-boy? I had a problem with that right off the bat. But I got over it.
There's probably some sensitive people out there that would like just because of that.
I've only heard
they would have not watched.
I've only heard the word "fuck" said 3 times in the entire series thus far. I think there's only 3 episodes that were released as of the date that we're taping this. So, which is today, and
which is it today? Yeah.
It is today. But of course, if you're hearing this 5 days from today, which is the day that we're taping it, then today is just today, not 5 days ago from today.
Here we go.
No, you can jump 10 years into the past. Anyway, my thing was like, okay, you only hear the word "fuck" uttered in the entire series 3 times so far. They can't even say "fuck boy" in the show. So I had a little problem with that.
Yeah, that's kind of stupid.
It is kind of stupid because that's what they're called, not F-boy. What is this? Freaking Mr. Rogers' F-boy neighborhood?
Don't you talk about Mr. Rogers.
And you may have mentioned it already, but is this like a reality show?
Yes.
Okay.
So getting over that, I started watching it. I didn't like it at first, and then I watched a little bit more.
And then I
watched it a lot more, and then all of a sudden,
spicy?
I am a fucking fan of the show.
Oh my god! They won him over.
I hate with sincerity
reality
to the highest order reality TV.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
The only reality TV I'll watch is sports, and some people might say that's rigged. Okay, fine, but Patriots? Anybody?
I got you.
Again, for
Then
those
again-
of you playing at home, Mike and I just kind of stared at
We
each
just had
other
a
like,
moment.
what the hell?
They just had a
What does
moment.
he mean by that?
Some people,
I got lost in
some
your
people
eyes
may
for a
say
second,
sports
too.
are rigged. I don't know. Anyway, sports are fixed. I guess that's a better way of saying it. Not rigged, but fixed.
That would have been a great moment if we had live video because we both had like the panic in our eyes. Like, where would he go with this?
I'm not going anywhere with that. I'm just saying. But reality TV, this show, it just sucked me in after a little bit, and
It sucked you in.
it sucked me
Give
in.
the people a reason to watch it.
So
Are there cameras in the bedrooms?
So you have no, actually, well, so far you don't see any sex happening, but it's all about. It's actually kind of interesting because you get to learn these people. You get to learn the psychological aspects of the very first episode. Sorry, I'm giving you some spoilers, but the very first episode, they call out 3 guys. One of them's an F-boy, the other 2 are nice guys, but the ladies assumed that all 3 of them were fuckboys just because of how their approach was. And they thought, well, these guys are really aggressive. They must be fuckboys. Let's get them out of here. So the 2 nice guys were ousted. The fuckboy was also ousted, but they got it wrong. The next episode, all the guys changed their entire approach and were like trying to play it cool, trying to play it, recessed basically of their personalities to stay under the radar.
Did it feel mapped out though?
No, actually it didn't.
Seriously. So it was like they weren't playing like a script.
No,
All right.
it did not. And the reason
Because that's
for
part of
that-
my problem with reality programming is half the time it's not reality programming.
There were a couple parts that did make me feel like there's something a little suspicious, a little fishy here, but when some of the things that were added up, like one of the guys has been trying to secretly pass notes and messages about the other guys to one of the contestants, CJ is her name. That to me just seemed like a fucking douchebag move. And at that point I realized I don't think this is scripted because that actually would happen if some guy is trying to take over the pack, so to speak, and undermine everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
So at that point, I realized, like, yeah, I think this is legitimate. So I'll continue watching it, and it actually has been really good for the psychological aspect of like what makes a guy desirable, what makes a guy completely undesirable, and how do you balance that? Try to be forthcoming, but also
feel
at
like
the same.
you yourself are balanced.
Am I learning anything from this? Fuck no, I'm just learning that I enjoy the show.
All right, you convince me.
All right.
I'll take a flyer on it.
So there is an F-Boy Cinemax. Tony's final verdict on it is
It's good. That's perfect.
I'm like that bit.
I do have a special announcement as well
okay.
coming up
Oh right,
because we're at episode 20.
this is 20.
Yeah, we've made it to double digits. It was about 10 episodes ago. And we're coming up to a special episode 25. We're going to make it, the quarter century mark. We're going to make it a special one. I'll continue to tease it a little bit as we get closer to it, but it is one that you want to check out. It'll be special. We'll have some additional banter, some interesting banter along the way.
Some guests.
Maybe even better banter.
Better banter, I hope so. And that's all I'm going to say for now.
Okay. So yeah, that is where we're heading. And before we get into there is a better podcast recommendation, I did want to ask you, Mike. So Fear Street, did you end up watching all 3?
No, actually, I've been insanely busy.
Well,
with
damn
work.
it.
I'm gonna
Then I am gonna.
I'm one and a half. One and a half through.
Fine.
Save it for the next one.
Fine. Yeah, make sure you put it in the podcast recommendation sometime.
The more you know.
Or not the podcast recommendation, but put it somewhere in your movies reviews because I've been holding off. Didn't want to say anything.
I'll have them done by.
I wanted to get
not
your
next
take
episode.
on
The
it.
one after that. I'll have them done. I promise.
All right. So now there is a better podcast recommendation. What do you got for us this week, Mike?
This week we have Tim. 20 minutes.
What?
Can you try that again? In
20
English,
10
please?
minutes.
There
So
you go.
Take 2. We'll
Tim?
cut that part right there. 20 10
Wait,
minutes.
10 minutes? Tim?
Yes.
Tim or 10?
10 minutes.
20 Tim.
Guessing the guy's name
Tim is
It
in the
is.
name. The name of somebody.
Yes.
Is it Tim?
20 Tim minutes.
God, I'm sweating over here just trying to
It's
figure this
a-
out.
Oh man, I've been looking at my underarms.
Basically,
all-
right
since
around
we've been
there.
talking, and
I can turn the air on.
I'm all comfy here.
It's a 20-minute.
I see that.
Okay, so
approximately 20-minute podcast with a focus on mental health, with
Oh,
new
okay.
episodes coming out every Tuesday. What I enjoy about Tim podcast is he's very open and very real about his mental struggles and like what he's going through. And very much like we talked about this a while ago from podcast 27. They actually do episodes together every now and then.
Okay.
It's really good. I appreciate authenticated.
Authenticated?
I made up a word there.
You have to authenticate with like a password
I'm
and then
too
double password.
Katzenjammer to come up with this.
Katzenjammer.
There we go.
See, that's why it should be a verb too. I'm too Katzenjammered.
I'm too Katzenjammered for this.
Katzenjammer.
He does interviews.
Katzenjammer.
He's blowing up.
Damn it doesn't
his
work.
interview skills. It almost seems like he's been doing this for years, and he hasn't. He only picked this up in the last year or so, I believe. He's relatable to his guest, and he does his homework like very, very well.
I hate homework.
He researches who he's going to put on the show and has all these great questions. He basically asks his questions to get out of his way. Like, we don't do interviews, but that's not our thing. But if I had it, I'd try to mimic his style because I think it's really, really good. He's very he's very real, and he's a breath of fresh air for this. My favorite episode so far. I listened to like 8 of them back to back out of this group.
Wow. That's actually more times than you've listened to our show.
Yeah, I think so.
Or even been present for our show.
He kind of had me hooked there for a while. That's why he's doing so well. His podcast is blowing up.
Because he's listening to it 8 times
That
every
is
episode.
more times than you have shown up to our show, not Katzenjammered.
Yes, that is absolutely true. My favorite episode is the interview he does with Olivia Bowser from Liberate Studios. And she has a crazy airplane story where she might have saved lives. Go listen to that one as soon as you can. Check out Tim from 20 Tim Minutes.
Okay, so
Katzenjammer.
Katzenjammer.
is that actually how it's spelled? How you
20
got up there?
10
on
minutes.
that?
Yeah.
So it's like 1 M.
Yep.
So
20
Tim Minutes.
TIMINUTES.
20 Tim Minutes. There he is. There he is.
Are we going to listen to one of his podcasts right now?
No.
Go ahead. Put it on there. In fact, just the last 20 minutes of our show should just be his.
He's got a website. We'll tag all his social
we
media
don't
stuff in
actually
there.
have 20 minutes, do we?
No,
Well, we can. We go as long as we want.
We have
don't
plenty of
any-
stuff to talk
yeah.
about because now that we're going with that, hey, Olympics.
Olympics.
Oh, the Olympics.
Have you watched that all, Ghosty? Because I wrote it in here.
Oh, wait, that's
we know you
American
don't.
Gladiators. My bad.
Ghosty, the artist, I can't even remember.
What's your own name?
I can't even remember.
I'm
my
the
own damn
Katzenjammered
name.
one here. You
What's
guys
my
are fine.
motherfucking name?
I kind of want to go with the name Katzenjammer now, actually.
You want to be Katzenjammered from now on?
I don't know. I'll work.
Are we making an executive decision?
I've been trying to make an appointment with HR. and
Katzenjammer.
They keep putting me off. So
If you
whatever.
become something else, that means we have to hire a new intern, right?
Something like that. I
think so.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Have you watched any
We're
of the
growing.
Olympics?
That's
I have
awesome.
not actually.
How about you, Tone?
I have actually.
My
My favorite one
I
so
just-
far
not my
has been
thing.
curling.
That's not the Olympics. That was the Winter Olympics.
Shuffleboarding?
No.
Skeet shooting.
I've watched so much of it. Like, I'm really into. I was a swimmer in high school. I like watching swimming, and Americans are normally very good at swimming, and they did fairly well.
Yeah. Yes, they did.
It's a lot of fun to watch. Caring about events that I never cared about before, like handball. Like, who know that? There's a joke in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Hey, you got me thinking though. What is something?
There you go. I like handball.
What hand in ball?
Head on your balls.
What's something that feels like an Olympic event but is not? And as I wrote that, the first thing that came to mind,
Handball.
Besides that,
Okay.
it's saying standing in line at the DMV because it's a marathon.
Oh, I can see
Standing
that.
in line at the
Something that is
DMV,
not-
it's a marathon.
Lately,
Leave the light
to me,
on.
it seems like driving.
Driving?
I like
Driving is a
seriously,
sport
seriously.
lately.
People around me lately bug the crap out of me.
Are you one of those people
What
who...
is it? Why do you drive down the road like
Backwards?
a 35 miles per hour road, very popular street here in our
area?
big small town?
Sure.
35
It's
miles
really
per hour.
a small big town.
35 miles per hour. You're driving down the road 65 miles per hour.
I was coming back from
Freaking
Detroit.
annoying.
From the Detroit area yesterday,
That
and somebody
stretch.
passed me. I was doing 80 in the left-hand lane.
Doesn't that blow your mind?
Well, I was going with the flow of traffic, so I didn't really feel bad about going over
Oh,
the speed limit.
no, coming out
somebody
of Detroit,
passed
yeah,
me
that- yeah, you
on
never
the,
feel bad
on the
about that.
shoulder with the wall right there, going at least 100 miles per hour, and zoomed
Good
in.
God.
I'm like, they're going to kill somebody.
And then you got pulled over.
No, I did not. No.
Oh, that's good. The more you
So
know.
yeah, driving.
What do you got, Tone?
Driving should be some sort of Olympic sport. I'm sure there is something.
Microwave TV dinners.
Yes. Read the package.
So would be. That would so be a Tony sport too.
Yeah.
It would be. I mean, it's what you do while you're watching the Olympics when you don't really have anything else to live for.
Me and Tony talked about this next part of the Olympics real briefly. But Simone Biles bowed out of the Olympics for the most part from the team.
I did hear about that.
In the all-around competition. She supposedly is going to do a couple of the individual events. But Twitter was on fire about it.
Oh, Twitter was all the rage about that.
How do you feel about it, Tone?
Well, first of all, I'm going to preface it with this. She did say in an interview openly that she was contemplating not even coming back this year. And she just thought, well, she's trained so hard, and this is one more opportunity to win gold and to really just give it all she's got. And I honestly feel that she's put it all out there. She left everything all out on the floor or the table or whatever it is that you want to consider it. She put all her chips in, and I think we should all be grateful to see her greatness on the world's biggest stage against the world's best athletes doing what they're doing. And honestly, I've heard somebody else say it just recently, she owes us nothing. And that's true. She owes us absolutely nothing.
And she took the break for her mental health because she got, I think they call it the twisties. Basically, she gets lost in the air now. Like, she just, her mentally, she's not there. And to criticize somebody for bowing out, like, oh, that's un-American is what I saw. Like, you're a quitter. You're not a team player.
It's fucking terrible.
We still won silver in the team. We still won the all-around. First of all,
I've only seen highlights, but it looks like she's supporting her teammates.
Yeah.
She's still being there for them.
She's doing everything that she possibly could.
Yep.
She probably stayed in...
Now, for those fucking keyboard warriors who go onto Twitter, and that's one thing I don't like about Twitter, is it's almost there as just like a way to get out what dirt I have to get out and post it. And there it is, out into the world. I hate this. I hate that. Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad you've shown your displeasure. But let's go ahead and put the shoe on the other foot. What if you decided to call into work one day, and then you open up Twitter, and 500 million people are disgusted in your willingness to call in and not come to work? Would you hate yourself that much? Would you hate yourself at all for that decision?
Only if I was Katzenjammer.
Katzenjammer. Well,
I'm making up words now.
Kind of circling back to Tim's podcast. He does a mental health podcast. He tweeted out after that he would love to have her on the show and talk about the mental health issues.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I support it. I think we retweeted it because that's a great idea. Of course, there's a stigma behind mental health if they're behind it, that if you have something going on, that something's wrong with you and inherently you're wrong. That's not the case. Sometimes people just need a break from things. You just need to work through some of your issues. We have the most stress in, well, I don't want to say it throughout human history, but 100 years ago, you never had to worry about a mortgage or any of this other stuff. That we have issues now that we've kind of created for ourselves. So
certainly,
I think we need to take a stronger look at mental health in this country as a whole.
Yeah, even Michael Phelps talked about it too in an interview with Mike Tirico, just about the importance of mental health. And I think that was wasn't that a reason why he decided not to go back into the Olympics? I mean, he could have won more gold medals probably. I don't know that for sure. But I think he's also part of, Talkspace, I think is one of those online therapy modules. But yeah, I mean, you get a person who's won gold medal talking about somebody who's won gold medal saying, hey, mental health is a very important thing. And if you can't take time for yourself to better yourself, to put yourself in a better place, then what are you doing for yourself? What good justice are you doing for yourself? You're not. You're just doing something for others. And
you're good.
Okay. Why don't we lighten the show up a little bit, I guess.
No, I want to talk more. I want to dig deeper.
I dug it. That's a good conversation.
Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher are in the news recently as they they said they tried not to bathe too much or bathe their kids too much. All I could write on that is said, ew. Can
I ask something about that? Now, they live in California, right?
Yeah.
So is that something to do with a water shortage?
No, they literally...
That was just a choice.
Yes, it's a hygiene choice that they're trying to do, and that's kind of what I said. I was like, ew.
Well, just because they don't shower every day doesn't
Gross.
necessarily be. Oh, for God's sakes!
Oh my God!
That is so American of you.
Yeah.
You know,
Tony was in
Mila
the shower.
Kunis is Russian.
Tony was
Where
in the
we
shower
have-
when I got here. He invited me in. I'm like, dude, that's weird.
You know,
Where's your
Mila
pants?
Kunis is Russian. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she was adopted, or maybe.
I don't recall.
Well, anyway, she's Russian.
Hey, the new movie,
But she's
Suicide,
taking her time
She's
now.
Russian what?
Suicide Squad currently has
Russian American?
a 98% score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Suicide
Does that
Squad.
mean that's good or bad?
Yes.
Is that
It
wait,
means it's almost perfect.
is that the one where what's her face took off her shirt and that was the only reason that people were watching the
No,
fucking
this
movie?
is the new one, the one after that.
Oh.
The
Is
that
that-
one was called Suicide Squad. This one's called The Suicide Squad.
Oh, like Ohio State University versus the Ohio State University.
Correct.
Not confuse one or the other.
I got a special one for Ghosty now.
Okay.
Guess what's coming? It's a
Besides
Waterworld
him.
series. Oh, they're making a Waterworld. They're making a Waterworld series.
Which we. I've got one I've got to tell you about at some point, but actually, I'll just tell you now. The Waterworld series. Geez, I don't know if I'm looking forward to that or not.
What do you mean you're looking for it? Of course you're not. You despise that.
I didn't despise it. I didn't hate the movie. I agreed with you. It was
entertaining, and it should have been left alone. Like the Tomorrow War that we talked about. Like it was entertaining. I appreciate it for what it was. Then don't make a second one. Then as soon as they came out, like, hey, we're making a second one. I'm like, son of a bitch.
It's because we talked about it. We put it out there in the universe, man.
This is the biggest news that came out for this week.
Waterworld. What'd you got? Oh, yeah.
Scarlett
I heard
Johansson
about this.
sued Disney for breach of contract, basically over Black Widow's premiere access release. Basically, her cut comes from the box office draw. They're saying that they Disney undercut them by having premiere access, which this is going to be a nasty court battle because
Disney
Disney's
has a
gonna
bunch
say,
of high-powered lawyers, first of all.
the mouse one holds grudges really bad. They have a whole bunch of lawyers. They're gonna play the COVID card, saying that we had to release this way as well. This is Disney's fault for not having foresight to see this is coming. If they did have a breach of contract, which to me it looks like they do, or they did, they need to settle with this. And I don't think this is ever going to get to court per se. I think they're going to settle this out. But she claims in excess of $50 million. That's where I take issue because there's no way that
not
they
gonna
sold
get that much
$50 million out of the Premier Access alone. There's no way her cut would have been $50 million. There's no way.
But do you think, though, that she's asking for that much to make
Settle
it
less?
Well, no. Well, you can either settle for less or to say this is a big fucking deal and I need to
other
make it a
stars
big deal.
are following suit now.
Good. And what's going to happen? They're all going to pull out. Yeah, they may breach their contract of being all in these movies, but what's Disney going to do if they can't get their stars? They're going to have to replace the entire world, and are people going to buy that?
Well, and I think it's actually going to have long-term effects on her career because not everybody's going to be rushing to hire somebody that just sued their previous employer.
Oh,
like
good
on a
point.
very public setting. Like I got into it with Brandon Kratz from The Observer, the editor from Observer. Not into it. Like we were talking back and forth. He swears she's going to be hired instantaneously. I don't see it happening. I think they're going to let the situation play out. He's saying that other studios are going to do it. One thing for sure is she's never coming back as Black Widow. Those days are gone. Like after this lawsuit, the mouse holds grudges, and they're never coming back.
Screw
boy, fuck you all.
Is it Semisonic time? And closing time?
That was good. I like that. No, that was a really good
solid
reference there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, as always, thanks for listening to There Is a Better Podcast, at least if you stuck around this long, right?
Why?
Yeah. No, not why. We're terrible. We're just not that terrible. And
That's
if you
absolutely
don't
right.
like
There's somebody
it,
worse than us, but
if
there's somebody
you
better
don't
than us.
like it,
There
reach us at
is a better podcast.
And if you don't like it, you can tell us that on Twitter at There's a Better One.
So as we've got some cool guests apparently coming up down the road, not right away.
Down the road, episode 25. That's a big one.
We're going to be 25. Is that when we're doing
Quarter
it?
century,
So
baby.
That is coming up. And the Radio Shack contest, the hat, the trucker hat. If you haven't seen that, I'm sure we've got it up on Instagram, right?
Oh, it's on there.
Oh, it's there, baby. We'll do it again.
Give us
we'll
a
post it again.
review. Give
Get
us
a new review.
Yeah, give us a review at some point, and eventually we'll pick somebody to win that radio, and we want to get rid of it. So give us the damn review.
Give us the fucking review so I can get it out of my fucking house.
All right.
Fair reviews.
Please.
And Tony,
please.
of course, said that with love and on a poll as well.
Thrust in the pool.
Email us. You can always do that at thereisabetterpodcast@gmail.com. If you want to check us out on Twitter,
there's a better than the number one.
And if you want to see us on Instagram,
at There Is a Better Podcast.
Yeah, let's all get Katzenjammer.
Katzenjammer. Boots and Katzenjammer.
Katzenjammer.
Cat.
All right.
Katzenjammer. God damn it.
That's not part of the song.
No, it's not.
Katzenjammer.
You know, we did pretty good on not swearing.
Katzenjammer.
Fuck yeah.
I want to issue a challenge that we're going to do
one episode.
We're going to do it.
One episode
where we do not swear.
Last episode?
I think we
pick
need
the episode.
Because here's the thing is I said damn.
Yeah.
I don't consider that a swear word.
I caught myself a couple times about to swear, and I chose not to.
I think
I did swear a couple times.
I think shit is okay.
What can you get away with on PBS?
Which, this should be a better discussion. Is a swear word a swear word?
Oh. Well,
is pissed a swear word? Some people say it is.
It depends.
See, and that's the thing. It depends on who you are.
Now, if you're in England, pissed just means drunk.
Or even saying
goddamn.
If you say goddamn, is that a swear word?
Yeah.
Goddamn.
It depends on your background.
Yeah, that's crazy. We're gonna do it one episode where I won't say. I made it 22 minutes. I counted last time. I'm like, I'm gonna make it this whole episode, right? Then the fuckboy segment came on. Then I was over it after that. Like we just went down the rabbit hole last episode.
Tony ruined it. Are we actually closing? Oh yeah, we're closing.
We're already closed. We're gonna cut that. All of it.
I don't know. Let's cut it.
Yeah. We'll see you next time.
To the next episode.